We're 2 business days into this new American order, so I think we have a lot to be determined, but the president is resolute in his focus, in his boldness, in his fearlessness, and in his relentlessness to ensure that we're putting America first.
That was the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins this morning defending the Trump administration's tariffs. But a freeze on funding is also impacting Kansas farms and businesses, and it's unknown when or if it could resume. A federal pause of a USDA grant program means reimbursements are halted. And last month, recipients learned what they'd been paid out since January 19th this year could be clawed back. Sean Logging talking with 2 farms that were awarded the grant.
In Kansas, there are 49 projects totaling $5.6 million awarded. These grants are funded by the Resilient Food Systems Infrastructure Program. The USDA program is administered by the Kansas Department of Agriculture in the state, and now it's a wait to see if these funds will become accessible again. From sprouting to full-grown business,
shiitake.
Myers Mushrooms has come far in 10 years.
I was in the Air Force. I was a vehicle mechanic. And I started growing in my garage.
Now located in Hayesville, it's Eric Myers' full-time career.
We're growing about 150 to 200 pounds a week.
More than just growing and selling mushrooms, for Eric, it's cultivating this farm industry.
Develop, manufacture, and distribute supplies and equipment to hundreds of growers across North America.
Like any business owner, he sees potential growth. A $99,000 grant from the Resilient Food Systems Infrastructure Program accelerating his long-term plans.
If I didn't have the grant, I probably wouldn't have bought it right now, but I definitely need the equipment. And the grant idea was supposed to supercharge and speed up this process of, building the middle of the supply chain.
How it works, Eric would buy the piece of equipment out of pocket and get reimbursed through the grant. So going an item at a time, a food processor, freeze dryer, and refrigeration, it's creating opportunities to support his and other farms.
It allows us to take a shelf unstable product and make it into a shelf stable product.
The next item, a bottling line with a cost of about $45,000. But last month, a letter from the Kansas Department of Ag told Eric and the other grant recipients a federal freeze on funding is pausing reimbursement, and payments after January 19th could be requested back. It's creating frustration for Eric.
Now it's financially hurting me to where I have to plan around these funds not being available for other projects and other things that I need to do for the company.
This grant also hastened Bruce's Bullseye Farms 5-year plan, awarded $99,000.
The grant, it expanded the ability to work with more farms and offer additional services besides just canning jelly and pickling products.
Lori Bruce and her husband became first-generation farmers in 2016. Known for jams, jellies, and beer rocks, they opened a commercial kitchen in 2022.
I'm not opening that door, but we got a 1,000-square-foot storage expansion back there, or kitchen expansion we're doing back there with us.
Lori says the grant helped to purchase equipment to expand food preservation and processing, and a van to transport her and other farms' products to markets and events.
The only thing that I'm lacking is my walk-in freezer, so about $20,000. And I did spend about $5,000 in equipment after the deadline in January that they said, oh, you may have to pay it back. If I do, I do.
Lori says she's not letting what happened with the grant distract her from her goals with the farm and business.
I'm not upset about it. It's just, it's just a part of doing business. And, like I said, I greatly appreciate the grant. And, I hope we get the additional funds. But if we don't, I'm not closing my doors tomorrow.
It's a hope that Eric shares.
We're going to keep chugging along. We still have to do our mission.
In a statement to 12 News, the Kansas Department of Agriculture says there's been no recent updates from the USDA, adding, quote, "We continue to hope this will be a temporary pause. But until the USDA makes a decision about the future of RFSI, we're unable to continue to help Kansans with this important grant program." The agency says it is monitoring for changes to the program status. Sean Logging, 12 News.
And those farmers did tell us a positive is that there was a meeting held with grant recipients late last month about the funding freeze, which could lead to collaboration and a sharing of resources.